The G36 is a 5.56 x 45 mm assault rifle, designed in the early 1990s by Heckler Koch in Germany as a replacement for the heavier 7.62 mm G3 battle rifle. It was accepted into service with the Bundeswehr in 1997, replacing the G3. The G36 is gas-operated and feeds from a 30-round detachable box magazine or 100-round CMAG drum magazine. History. Development. Work on a successor for the venerable G3 rifle had been ongoing in Germany since the second half of the 1970s. These efforts resulted in the innovative 4.73 mm G11 assault rifle, developed jointly by a group of companies led by H&K, that used caseless ammunition, designed by the Dynamit Nobel Company. It had been predicted that this weapon would eventually replace the G3, therefore further development of H&K's series of firearms chambered for the 5.56 x 45 mm NATO cartridge had been halted. Heckler Koch, having no incentive to pursue a new 5.56 mm weapon system, was content with the export-oriented HK-33 and G41 rifles. However, the G11 program came to an abrupt end when the Bundeswehr cancelled its procurement due to defense budget cuts after the unification of East and West Germany, and H&K was acquired in 1991 by British Aerospace's Royal Ordnance Division, known today as B Systems. Increasing interest in Germany for a modern service rifle chambered for the NATO standard 5.56 mm cartridge led H&K to offer the German armed forces the G41 rifle, which, too, was rejected. Design work was then initiated from the ground up on a modern 5.56 mm assault rifle designated Project 50 or HK50. The prototype was then trialed, where it was rated higher than the rival Austrian Steyr-AUG system. The final version of the G36 was completed in 1995. Production of the G36 began in 1996. Production. The HK50 rifle was selected for service and an initial order was placed for 33,000 rifles under the Bundeswehr designation Geur G36. The order also involved an option for a further 17,000 rifles. Deliveries were first made to the Bundeswehr's NATO Quick Reaction Force during the fourth quarter of 1997. The G36's production line began in early 1996. In July 1998, it was announced that the G36 had been selected as the standard rifle for the Spanish Armed Forces, replacing the 5.56 mm SETME Model L and LC rifles. Deliveries first took place at the end of 1999. These rifles are manufactured in Spain under license by General Dynamics Santa Barbara Sistemas at the FACR, Fábrica de Armas de la Coruña, facility, in Coruña, Galicia. In addition, the rifle has been licensed for local production in Saudi Arabia. The manufacturer in the country is the Military Industries Corporation. Technology transfer was granted by Germany to Saudi Arabia on June 30, 2008. The first Saudi-made G36 was produced at Mix Factory on June 30, 2009. However, some components of their own G36s are supplied by Heckler Koch. Design details. The G36 is a selective-fire 5.56 mm assault rifle, firing from a closed rotary bolt. The G36 has a conventional layout and a modular component design. Common to all variants of the G36 family are the receiver and buttstock assembly, bolt carrier group with bolt and the return mechanism and guide rod. The receiver contains the barrel, carry handle with integrated sights, trigger group with pistol grip, handguard, and magazine socket. The G36 employs a free-floating barrel. The barrel does not contact the handguard. The barrel is fastened to the receiver with a special nut, which can be removed with a wrench. The barrel is produced using a cold hammer forging process and features a chrome-lined bore with 6 right-hand grooves and a 1 in 178 mm, 1:7 in, rifling twist rate. The barrel assembly consists of the gas block, a collar with a bayonet lug that is also used to launch rifle grenades, and a slotted flash suppressor. The weapon can be stripped and reassembled without tools through a system of crosspins similar to that used on earlier HK designs. For cleaning purposes, the G36 dismantles into the following groups: receiver housing, return mechanism, bolt carrier group and trigger group. Features. Fire selector. The fire and safety selector is ambidextrous and has controls on both sides of the receiver, which took upon the design of the original G3 selector. Selector settings are described with letters S safe, Sicher, E semi-automatic fire, Einzelfeuer, and F continuous fire, Feuerstoß. HK also offers several other trigger options, including the so-called Navy trigger group, with settings analogous to the standard trigger, but the selector positions have been illustrated with pictograms. A semi-automatic only trigger unit, lacks the F setting, is also available. Magazine. In the box magazine is room for 30 cartridges staggered, or double stacked, on top of one another. The magazines are molded with shock-resistant plastic, and are translucent, allowing the user to see the ammunition. On the sides are studs which allow for the magazines to be attached next to each other, this way the operator can reload with less hassle. An empty G36 magazine weighs 127 grams, 4.5 ounces, and filled with 30 rounds 483 grams, 17.0 ounces. Stanag magazines cannot be normally used, but the G36 can use an adapter that will accept the Stanag. Certain types of Beta C mags can also be used and are employed with the MG36 support variant. Stock. The stock 2 is multifunctional. It has the ability to fold to one side, shortening the overall length of the weapon for use in tight areas or vehicles. The rifle can also still fire with the stock collapsed. Also, it incorporates holes where assembly pins can be placed during weapon cleaning and maintenance. Material. The G36 employs a large number of lightweight, corrosion-resistant synthetic materials in its design: the receiver housing, stock, trigger group, including the fire control selector and firing mechanism parts, magazine well, handguard and carry handle are all made of a carbon fiber reinforced polyamide. The receiver has an integrated steel barrel trunnion, with locking recesses, and a nylon 66 steel reinforced receiver. Sights. The standard German Army versions of the G36 are equipped with a ZF 3x4° dual optical sight that combines a 3x magnified telescopic sight, with the main reticle designed for firing at 200 m and bullet drop compensation markings for 200, 400, 600, and 800 m crosshairs and a range-finding scale, and an unmagnified reflex sight, calibrated for firing at 100 m, mounted on top of the telescopic sight. The reflex sight is illuminated by ambient light during the day and uses battery-powered illumination for use at night. Electric illumination is activated automatically by a built-in photo sensor and can be manually activated to boost the brightness of the reticle in daytime low-contrast situations. The export versions have a single telescopic sight with a 1.5 times magnification and an aiming reticle fixed at 300 m. All rifles are adapted to use the Hensoldt NSA 83rd generation night sight, which clamps into the G36 carry handle adapter in front of the optical sight housing and mates with the rifle's standard optical sight. The sighting bridge also functions as a carrying handle and features auxiliary open sights molded on top of the handle that consist of a forward blade and rear notch, but these can only be used with the reflex sight removed, as in the G36V. The optical sight system is produced by Hensoldt AG, a subsidiary of Carl Zeiss AG. Operating mechanism. The G36 uses a short-stroke piston system from which HK later developed the HK416S impingement system. Unlike direct impingement, this system takes gas trailing the bullet to operate a piston instead of pushing directly on the bolt. The G36S bolt is operated by a cam that guides the bolt carrier by its respective cutout. Then when fully pushed forward, 7 radial locking lugs fully enclose the chamber. HK included several design features that are essential in modern military firearms. For example, the bolt locks back after the last round is spent. This can be deactivated, and at the front end of the trigger guard there is a bolt catch button. The cocking handle can be switched from either end, folds in, and unfolds from a spring so the shooter need not unfold it by hand before firing. Another feature of it is that it doubles as the forward assist, which is used in the instance that the spent cartridge ejected but the next one did not properly extract and go into battery. In addition, the ejection port has a brass deflector to mitigate the amount of casings that may strike the face of left-handed operators. Instead of a dust cover which has the need to be flipped back up when the gun isn't in use, the bolt acts as the seal from dirt. Accessories. The rifle can be fitted with a 40mm AG36, AG Anbegranatwerfer, underbarrel grenade launcher, which is a breech-loaded break-action weapon with a side-tilting barrel. Standard equipment supplied with the G36 includes spare magazines, a cleaning and maintenance kit, sling, speed-loading device and sometimes a modified AKM Type 2 blade bayonets, many of which are left over in Germany from stocks of the former National People's Army. Overheating. In April 2012, reports surfaced that G36 rifles used in Afghanistan would overheat during prolonged firefights after several hundred rounds were fired. Overheating affected the accuracy of the G36, making it difficult to hit targets past 100 m, ineffective past 200 m, and incapable of effective fire past 300 meters. The G36 has been called unsuitable for long battles. HNK said the rifle was not designed for sustained, continuous fire. German soldiers gave no negative feedback. Operational commanders advised allowing the weapon to cool between periods of rapid shooting. In February 2014, the German Federal Ministry of Defense announced that the overheating deficiencies of the G36 were not a result of weapon design, but of the ammunition. A report by the Bundeswehr on February 21, 2014, revealed that the issues were not the fault of the rifle, but that one manufacturer of ammunition was making bullets with copper-plated jackets that were too thin. The manufacturer of the ammunition confirmed this, although experts disagreed, and also said the accuracy problems were already known to the Defense Ministry by 2010. On June 22, 2014, it was reported that Germany's Defense Ministry had temporarily halted new orders worth €34 million, $45 million, over accuracy concerns for the rifle. The Bundeswehr consulted the Fraunhofer Institute for High-Speed Dynamics, Ernst Mach Institute, and the Federal Criminal Police Office. On March 30, 2015, Minister of Defense Ursula von der Leyen told the Associated Press that the weight-saving design is the root of the issues. This is based on a letter from Inspector General Volker Wieker advising the Stewards of Defense and Budget Committee of the Bundestag and the troops in advance of publication of the report. The report was released by the Fraunhofer Ernst Mach Institute, EMI, and Wehrtechnisch Dienststelle 91, WTD 91, on April 19, 2015. According to their 372-page report, the observed hit rate of the predominantly plastic weapon with the unsupported free-floating barrel drops down to a mere 7% at 100 meters when the temperature increases by 30 degrees Celsius, 86 degrees Fahrenheit, or more, whereas the Bundeswehr required a hit rate of 90% at that distance. On April 22, 2015, the German Minister of Defense announced that the G36 would be phased out of the German army due to these concerns. Defense Minister von der Leyen considers the weapon to be useless. She stated that the German military will stop using a plastic assault rifle that can't shoot straight when temperatures increase by 30 degrees Celsius, 86 degrees Fahrenheit, or the rifle heats up during a firefight. In 2016, the German Defense Ministry lost its lawsuit filed against Heckler Koch on the ministry's claim for compensation or warranty work on the subpar G36 rifles, because the Bundeswehr did not make its specifications for the weapon clear enough in the beginning of the procurement process. The District Court of Koblenz rejected claims from the Bundeswehr Procurement Office, and ruled that weapon manufacturer Heckler Koch did not have to pay damages on the 167,000 rifles still in use out of more than 176,000 G36 rifles Germany had originally purchased. Variants: G36V, V Varianti variant previously known as the G36E, E-Export, it is the export version of the standard G36. The G36V has all of the characteristics of the standard rifle with the exception of the sight setup and bayonet mount. It is fitted with a X1.5 or X3 sight and lacks the integrated reflector sight. The bayonet mount is a standard NATO type. This version was first produced for Spain and Latvia. MG36, MG Maskinengewehr machine gun squad automatic weapon version of the G36 equipped with a heavier barrel for increased heat and cook-off resistance. The MG36 and MG36E are no longer offered by H&K. G36K, K-Kurs short carbine variant with a shorter barrel, fitted with an open-type flash suppressor, and a shorter forend, which includes a bottom rail that can be used to attach tactical accessories, such as a UTL flashlight from the USP pistol. The carbine's barrel lacks the ability to launch rifle grenades and it will not support a bayonet. The weapon retained the ability to be used with the AG-36 grenade launcher. G36Ks in service with German Special Forces are issued with a 100-round CMAG drum. There are two variants of the G36K. The first and most commonly known has X3 scope/carry handle attached to the top, while the second is equipped with iron sights and a rail, no scope included. G36KV, formerly G36KE export version of carbine variant, G36K with sights like G36V. G36C, C equals compact, commonly mistaken for commando, a term trademarked by Colt Firearms for the CAR-15. This sub-carbine model is a further development of the G36K. It has a shorter barrel than the G36K, and a 4-prong open-type flash hider or a birdcage-type flash hider. The extremely short barrel forced designers to move the gas block closer to the muzzle end and reduce the length of the gas piston operating rod. The handguard and stock were also shortened and the fixed carry handle, with optics, was replaced with a carrying handle with an integrated MIL STD 1913 Picatinny rail. The dual optical sight found on the standard G36 and G36K models was replaced with a set of rail-mounted detachable iron sights that consist of a semi-shrouded front post and a flip-up rear sight with two apertures of different diameter. The short handguard has 4 accessory attachment points, one of which could be used for a vertical grip. The G36C was developed and produced in January 2001. G36A2. This is an ordnance designation allocated to an upgraded variant of the G36 used by the German Army. The G36A2 is equipped with a quick detachable Zeiss RSA reflex red dot sight mounted on a Picatinny rail that replaces the original red dot sight of the dual combat sighting system. The G36A2 upgrade kit also consists of the shorter G36C stock, designed for better handling with use of body armor and load-bearing equipment. New handguard made of aluminium, provides better heat resistance during long periods of firing, with an optional 4 Picatinny rails and a vertical foregrip with an integrated switch for operating an Oerlikon Contraves LLM01 laser light module. Sporting models. Based on the G36, Heckler & Koch also created the semi-automatic SL8 rifle and the straight pull, bolt action R8, which are offered to the civilian sport shooting markets. The SL8 is substantially different from the G36, it has a modified receiver and a thumbhole stock with a cheek rest, which is integral with the trigger group. The SL8 has a heavy profile, extended, 510 mm, 20.1 in, barrel that does not have a flash hider or bayonet lug. The rifle uses a 10-round single-stack magazine and an extended top rail used to mount a wide variety of Picatinny standard optics. Mounted to the rail are a set of iron sights with a hooded foresight and adjustable flip rear aperture. The SL8 can also mount the G36 carry handle and integrated sight assembly, after removing the mechanical iron sights. The SL8 has an unloaded weight of 4.3 kilograms, overall length of 980-1030 mm and a trigger rated at 20 N, 4.5 lbf. In November 2013, Heckler & Koch applied for permission from the German government to sell a new civilian legal version of the G36. Called the HK243 in Europe and the HK293 in America, it is more similar to the G36 assault rifle than previous civilian models. The main difference is the bolt is redesigned to not allow a conversion to fully automatic fire. It has quad Picatinny rails and accepts Stanag magazines. 4 different barrel lengths from 230 mm, 9.1 in, to 480 mm, 19 in, and 4 stock models, short fixed, long fixed, and 2 adjustable, will be offered. Heckler & Koch G36. Type assault rifle. Carbine. Light machine gun. Squad automatic weapon. Place of origin Germany. Service history. In service 1997 present. Used by 40+ countries, see users. Wars. Kosovo War. Afghan War. Iraq War. 2008 Russo-Georgian War. 2011 Libyan Civil War. Mexican Drug War. 2013 Lahad Datu Standoff. Iraqi Civil War, 2014 present. 2015 Paris attacks. Yemeni Civil War. Saudi-led intervention in Yemen, 2015 present. Conflict in Najran, Jizan, and Asir. Production history. Designer Heckler & Koch. Designed 1990-1995. Manufacturer Heckler & Koch. Santa Barbara Sistemas. Military Industries Corporation. Produced G36, 1996 present. G36K, 1997 present. G36C, 2001 present. No built 176,000. Variants. See variants. Specifications. Weight G36, 3.63 kilograms, 8.00 pounds. G36V, 3.33 kilograms, 7.3 pounds. G36K, 3.30 kilograms, 7.3 pounds. G36KV, 3.0 kilograms, 6.6 pounds. G36C, 2.82 kilograms, 6.2 pounds. MG36, 3.83 kilograms, 8.4 pounds. MG36E, 3.50 kilograms, 7.7 pounds. Length G36, G36V, MG36, MG36E, 999 mm, 39.3 in, stock extended /758 mm, 29.8 in, stock folded. G36K, G36KV, 860 mm, 33.9 in, stock extended /615 mm, 24.2 in, stock folded. G36C, 720 mm, 28.3 in, stock extended /500 mm, 19.7 in, stock folded. Barrel length G36, G36V, MG36, MG36E, 480 mm, 18.9 in. G36K, G36KV, 318 mm, 12.5 in. G36C, 228 mm, 9.0 in. Width 64 mm, 2.5 in. Height G36, G36K, MG36, 320 mm, 12.6 in. G36V, G36KV, MG36E, 285 mm, 11.2 in. G36C, 278 mm, 10.9 in. Cartridge 5.56 x 45 mm NATO. Action short stroke piston, rotating bolt. Rate of fire 750 rounds/min cyclic. Muzzle velocity G36, G36V, MG36, MG36E, 920 m/s, 3018 feet/s. G36K, G36KV, 850 m/s, 2788.7 feet/s. Effective firing range 800 meters, 870 yd, 200-600 m side adjustment. Maximum firing range 2860 meters, 3130 yd. Feed system 30 round detachable box magazine or 100 round CMAG drum magazine. Sights reflex sight with 1x magnification, Telescopic sight with 3 times magnification. Export version has a 1.5 times magnified sight, and backup fixed notch sight.
Please subscribe and thanks for watching.